think you're on fucking easy street, and then you get kicked in the fucking face.
In the next bubble screen over here, let's throw curls, curls, curls.
What are the whys, right? What are the whys?
Bears Hour Live.
The Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies.
Tape never lies.
Starts now.
The tape never lies.
32 is the identity.
We were kind of stuck in neutral, and I thought it was a good idea to hand the play calling over to Bill Lazor.
Loses the football, strip sack, and a take.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talks and the smartest man alive. Yo. Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talk and the smartest man alive. Ran up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil gonna bring that range, but in with facts my shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened, to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey yo, with draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. Splitting double T's like 96 Hakeem hits. You can tell the shit matters. A bit love can be felt. Critical of Nagy cause the talent he's been dealt. As our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion about what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame, so expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears
I don't think we're that much worse.
The myth, the red legend, Dr. Phil Otoshun.
Because teams realize, hey, we gotta stop Matt.
When you put that much into it, you don't let that. And the guy next to you says, "You son of a bitch, you better block." That's what happens. That's when you have a real good team.
And let's get it on.
This is Bears Hour Live.
Welcome to BHL, another laugher as this regime gets another nail driven into their coffin. The Bears seemingly find another way to break our hearts. I mean, it's expected at this point, but it doesn't make it any easier as the defense. I mean, I don't know how that's Sean Desai. Take a bow, kid, because that's completely unacceptable. But there's not a hell of a lot to say, guys. We know where this is headed. It's the Titanic, and it's already hit the iceberg. We're just waiting for confirmation that it's underwater and everybody is gone at this point. But I'm going to flip it over to my guy DDP. We'll get this rolling, and we'll listen to his rant and see what he's got to say.
Oh my God. With the pressure comes the true personality of who you are. At some point, with the injuries and the excuses and the refs and everything combined, Shane, you as a head coach have to reel in everybody and have them check in the mirror. Who are you? There's so many fingers we could point in this game, and there's so many things you can go into philosophically when it comes to football. It's not even funny. It's not fun to watch. It's a travesty. When someone has been beaten on this record, beating this drum, talking about this coach, talking about the necessity to find a head coach that's maniacal, that surrounds himself with the right people. Great coaches understand the situation of the game, and on 3rd and 1, you're not throwing deep. You understand it's 2 down territory and you run twice. You don't go throwing deep, miss, then come back. Oh, we have a technical difficulty. I've never seen him more fired up in my life. And it had to do with him not having communication on a headset. If that gets you that fired up, imagine what you must feel like because you fucking suck as a head coach right now. Sean Desai, terrible. Many fingers to point, many rivers to cross, but it all goes back to the tape. Because I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Are you surprised? Honestly, you got some agenda to have if you're surprised. Because even without Lamar Jackson, because I picked them to lose with Lamar. We didn't find out Lamar ain't playing. Minus Khalil Mack, minus whoever. You picked them to lose. But this is a head coach that doesn't understand running the football, situational football. It just doesn't ever improve. It doesn't get better. A really great head coach goes back to that play. Remember Montgomery and shotgun and Tony's drawing out. He should have stayed left. We don't know what the play is. Yeah, it looks good. Maybe he should have went left. Was it designed to go left? Tony don't know. I don't know. Why are you there? Because you got a terrible head coach. Jimmy John, the blog boy, and John Hughes, the blog boy, and JoJo, the whoever. Going to tell you different. I'm not surprised. This is the same old bullshit. I say it every week and everyone takes it. The team is a reflection of its head coach. Until Virginia gets the sun the fuck out of her eyes and the other son the fuck out of the job to actually see the truth. You got to get a president of football operations that understands you don't come through the doors unless you pass the understanding of football test. I don't give a fuck about your play calls or how good you think you can be and creative. The last time a creative coach won a Super Bowl was never. You find the foundation of truth of what you're going to run, your identity. We got to ask the whys. The only why is he have a head coaching job? Still, that's the only question of why. Yes, Deion Bush, you suck. He's been terrible forever. It ain't going to change. Breakdowns in coverage. Why? Decide. It's fucking a backup quarterback at his 30-yard line. Get in zone and rush Quinn and Gibson off the edge. You want to send someone interiorly? Go ahead. But you keep 2 safeties the fuck back and you don't let anything beat you over the top. But no, we got to get tricky, gimmicky. It's the reflection of this fucking guy. You think I hate to say it, because it gets so many people mad, but this would never fucking ever happen on my fucking watch. Are you fucking kidding me? To lose that game is 0.0 chances, but you found a way to lose. And that is why Cars' bold prediction on keeping it 100, the best motherfucking Bears show, should be coming true tomorrow. And then he can sing, "Work that ass for daddy," because the only thing Nagy should be doing is packing up his shit and working his ass out of the fucking Bears. And same with Ryan Pace. It's done. Your culture sucks. Your team cares nothing for you. Everybody's going down. It is the worst expression of this great game to see you find a way to lose. It's the great ones that always find their way to win. Stop creating the shitty movie. Stop writing the shitty book. Stop writing the shitty song. Great understands great. And the Chicago Bears, led by Ted, George, and Virginia, the mom and pop shop, don't get great. You get worse. And that is the curse of the Bears. That is the curse with this clown ownership on down. You're 2 years too late and $2 billion too short. It's time to sell the team. Shane, that is my rant.
Can't disagree with any of it, man.
I can't.
You're seeing the same things over and over and over again, Phil. It's a big part of the Chicago Bears defense is broken coverage, and it happens every single week. And it's not just it's going for huge plays all over the field each and every week, and it's still nothing is done about it. But yet Deion Bush is brought back to be relied upon. And I mean, this was a guy that they remember back when in 18 in the playoffs. Eddie Jackson was out, and they brought Deion. Well, this kid's ascending, and it's still the same fucking story week after week. But no,
Kendall Vildor, for all you Vildor guys, played a terrible game today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're all the Vildor guys. I mean, I've gotten messages from people. See, I told you.
You didn't tell me shit because every fucking player, including myself, has had a bad day at the fucking office. That's not an excuse. I'm just not that guy when I see effort and tape to prove otherwise. Interference, yes. Last play of the game, though, where is your Deion Bush? Lost. Where's this aggressiveness? Lost. The only one questioning everybody is Roquan Smith. So 2 weeks. Let's fuck this game. Look, pull back the curtain for a second, right, Shane?
Yeah.
You had 2 weeks to prepare. That game, to me, honestly, was lost on that fourth down play call situation with David Montgomery going in wildcat empty, whatever the fuck that play was. The play before that, it's 3rd and 1. You know you're going 2 downs. Run the fucking ball and get the first down. These guys are throwing deep like they fucking have some sort of connection.
Well, then that's their get out of jail free card, Phil, because this is what they do. Then they can maintain that shows that they're being aggressive. They're taking their shots, but it all gets back to situational football. Like we've said for years, you want the team to be aggressive. You want the deep shots. You have to figure out, you have to pick and choose wisely when and where you do that. That situation there with a guy that hasn't played fucking football in a lot of weeks, that's not your spot to do it. It's not your spot. Could I justify it a little bit more if it was Justin Fields? Yes. Would I agree with the play call? No, I wouldn't.
Right.
But like you said, you're going into that in that situation knowing that you're going for it. So you have 2 downs to get 1 yard.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
The crowd starts booing. Yeah. Then all of a sudden it becomes, I don't have communication. Well, why is the punt team going on? You communicated that. Let's not hide the truth. And then Sean Desai, you win this game in a walk-off, just sitting in cover 2 and forcing a quarterback that isn't very accurate to make an accurate throw. You have to play it safe there. And if you want to get a little bit more aggressive, like I said in my rant, you could fucking send someone interiorly in your zone to open up a fucking hook, and that would be Roquan. But to go into zero coverage, and if you watch the play, it's Sammy Watkins, of all people, Shane, in a bunches. And this clown, Dion Bush, is standing on the hash, seeing it happen in front of him, standing there watching, and then, oh, yeah, I'll come over and push him on a bounce. Like, come on. Come on. Get up there and make a play on the goddamn football. Again, I could go through this whole game with a fucking fine-tooth comb. But the reality is, this is a reflection of what this guy is. You had every advantage, like we said at halftime on our patron side, Shane. No Lamar Jackson. What does this game look like with Lamar Jackson? They couldn't cover their number one weapon is the tight end. They still couldn't fucking cover him.
Tony Romo took you behind the curtains a couple of times on plays where he said if Huntley throws the ball to Andrews there, split second early, it's pitch and catch, and it's a first down. And the Bears ended up getting away with it and making a play because he was a little bit. It speaks to your point. It's the Bears if they can find a way to make it hard on themselves, they'll do it, and if they can find a way to make it easy on the team that they're playing, that's what they're going to do, and it's each and every week. But
we don't want false hope. Like me, George, my father, Shane, in doing the fucking tape work, what we see continues to happen all the time. If you're a patron, you've seen it. If you watch my tape breakdown, you've seen it. Okay, there's not even expectation of greatness. Obviously, is never gonna get there. I see all you fucking Mac Jones up. Oh, Mac Jones, Justin Fields. Stop. The indictment is on the coach. The indictment's on the coach. Now you got Justin Fields hurt because he's taking all these shots. Now you got a head coach who shouldn't be here calling plays, developing what? We can't be made into believe today on a double route. Andy Dalton makes a nice throw. You win the game. You beat a backup quarterback. And then they have the collaboration fucking presser again. Is that what you want to live with? This failure is a blessing to those people that understand what I've been saying since Nagy's been here. He can't win. Even in the most winnable situation, he can't win. They're going to win on Thanksgiving either, Kevin. They're not going to. You know why? Because Nagy's not a good motivator of men. I don't want to hear the fucking media. I'm going to destroy any media person that comes out. They really like it. He hasn't lost that locker room. What does that mean? What does that mean? He hasn't lost the locker room.
There's the coach.
Compliment the Ravens for playing hard and finishing that game to win. For us, obviously, it's unfortunate to lose the game the way we did.
The fire Nagy chants loud
like
in the stadium.
The guys are
loud
battling, but in the end, we're not
fire Nagy.
I want to compliment Andy Dalton.
Fire Nagy.
In this environment, and right away have two plays and get going there with that,
plays,
and then in the end, in a crucial situation, situational football, for him to make plays the way
this
he did,
guy
I think it shows
fucking
who
cares
he is as a quarterback, who he is as a person.
What I see right here, Shane,
for the offensive guys to battle there
is a guy overwhelmed with the job and feeling bad for himself.
You can hear just the way that he's breathing and
in the end, I know that they're frustrated because of not being able to close that game and finish the game.
We couldn't close it out. Let me look at my stats.
And and obviously special teams too. We had the 40-yard missed field goal, and then we had the partially blocked punt. So
was there any emotion? It's a total shit show, Brennan. Tell them.
Thanksgiving game, so we got to move on to Detroit. But with that, I'll go ahead and open up the questions. Again, I don't know any of that right now.
I don't know anything, even though they told me everything on the side. I'm gonna lie out my fucking face.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I'll have to find out,
Imagine me on the sideline, my quarterback, starting franchise. What's going on with my quarterback? Coach, he's got broken ribs.
I got to see exactly what type of
injury
he has. because it is his ribs. So we got to see, okay, how much effect does that have for him? So we'll get into all that, and that's not where we're at.
What are the whys, Coach?
Back-to-back week games with losses where you score in under 2 minutes, and the defense doesn't come up with a stop.
Sean, Coach, you're 0-4 coming out of the bye week. Talk about that.
You were close to winning those 2
You have a
games.
good week of practice.
Just like it sits with everybody else, you got to finish.
Fire,
end the games and close them out, and in the end, it's situational football.
He has no passion.
You have the lead in 2 games to be able
no
to
pride
to close it out and win both of those games, and we didn't do that.
So busy worrying about Club Dub on the sideline. Forgot to play D.
They ran a couple big chunks there with the DPI, and then that one there as well. So I'll have to look at
blown coverage in the most critical situation.
I'm playing with busted coverage in the situation.
I'll take the fucking pass interference. I'll do it. I was being aggressive. My kid fucking made a bad play.
You have to go through.
I'll own that. Blown coverage, the game on the line.
Issue on that, my headset went out completely.
That's on me. I stand in front of you and I'd say
I was talking to the guys and I wasn't. And so then at that point, I had to. You don't have a play. You don't know what you're going to. So Tabor's down there with me as a special teams coordinator. So I was essentially playing the field position to punt the ball. But then once I was able to be able to get
he's lying,
what
Jake.
we wanted to do. We got
caught it
there and went for it.
We were playing the field position, but then
there at the end, right after the 2-minute warning, 4th and 6.
Yeah. So that one there was,
Dion.
That's a crucial
Nagy
distance to make sure you're 100% ready for what you need. And so the clock was running down.
I
think for that one,
you'd
love to be able to
this
keep
is
it
the head coach.
I
was saying this with Greg yesterday watching Purdue.
And you have 2 timeouts. So for some reason,
this guy's your head coach.
You don't get that. You have 2 timeouts and can still get the ball back. And so that was.
I have more passion in my fucking
we just
finger.
Felt like we weren't with the clock running down. We felt rushed before we snapped it, and we wanted to be smart about that. So it ended up working.
And then finally, the PAT.
Got to get Demir Bird out there,
again. We're at a point where the celebration.
17 is 20 times the player.
And also knowing that
20.
You're up. Those 4 points.
I think Grant would have caught that ball.
You want to be able to make sure you have everything you need personnel-wise and going for it, et cetera. There was also the penalty. So do you move it half the distance, make it from the 1? Do you use it on kickoff? So there's a lot of stuff going on at that point. But that's why we used it to be able to make it a 6-point game.
All it should be now on fans, fire Nagy chant.
Yeah, well, we felt like that's the play we had all week long. That's not a new play.
Timeout.
Anything we made up.
That's
the play that we had. And if you get it, it looks good, and if you don't get it, it looks bad.
People that want to extend this guy management are Packer fans, and everybody else.
I was communicating on. You're talking through that scenario. The play before that's 3rd and 1. We took a shot.
Yeah,
and,
dumb.
So we just missed it. Mooney caught it, but couldn't get the feet in bounds. And so
we just missed
as you're
it, Shane.
Communicating and going through it, you're talking through decisions. Tabor's down there on the special teams.
Tabor's down there.
I'm on the headset with Bill. And
you are the fucking head coach.
You do need to think.
Go for it.
Position right
That's
there,
it.
Right? Because of how your defense is playing.
He's
but you
yelling
also
at the
have
fucking
the ability
guy
of knowing, do you feel good
more than he's ever yelled at any fucking player on the team.
And
that's
so then all of a sudden in the middle of that, as you're talking, I think I'm talking, and my headset's out. And so that's when then
you're out coached every game.
In order to not make it 4th and 6 and just play the balance
every game.
Punt it. And then, but once I knew, then I got my headset back. That's when I called timeout to go for it.
Oh, that's when I did it, guys.
Well, again, that's part of the process of do you go up 5 and do you go up 6? And that's the communication part on us.
So going into the 3rd and 1, when you take the shot down the field, when you make the play call to take the shot, you're assuming that we're in 4-down territory right now. You just weren't able to communicate that.
Thank you. Very good question.
There's
that's the fucking problem.
And get it, and again, you can take a shot and not get it, and then it's you decide. Okay, when you're in that position right there, what do you want to do? Do you want to?
That's the indictment. Goodbye. Good fucking bye.
We were in the middle of.
You know right there. We're taking a shot because we're going for it on 4th.
How badly or not
he said
badly,
no, Shane.
Maybe they had his run. Maybe talk about him killing the bench.
No.
Dalton starter?
Again, I'm not getting into
Are
any of
you
that. Justin's
kidding
played
me?
his tail off, and he's played really well. So all the stuff about
said
Justin's
no.
done everything that we've
We
asked
don't
him
go.
to do to be able to grow
We
as a
don't do
quarterback.
it there.
He got hurt, so he's done everything to be the starter, continue to be the starter, and he's done everything to be the guy and continue to work hard at where he's at. And there's a lot of we just got to see where Justin's at. I mean, that's when you're talking about ribs. You got to find out how much it affects them. So
you're down.
It's
It's 3-1. You are on the headset. You knew Tabor's right here, and you're going deep on 3rd and 1. But you don't have a fucking plan on 4th and 1.
Situationally,
This is a 2-down territory. Are you fucking kidding me?
That got to be able to communicate. And again, I gotta go back and find out
We had a
what
great
what
week of
calls were
practice,
and what the bus was all about, or if it was just a good play by them.
It was a bust all about.
And the first half, Justin didn't really
My headset.
play the second half against Pittsburgh.
My headset.
Changes with a different game plan situation, or we just didn't get the rhythm fast?
No,
My
it's
headset went
they're a good
out.
defense, and they're gonna
Take your
present
fucking
defense to
headset
us.
off
And so
and give
I
it
think
to
we
the
had 17
manager.
Plays before the 2-minute
They're
warning.
call a better game.
So we had 4 total drives in 2 minutes. So 17 plays. It's hard to get into a rhythm.
Oh my
and I
God.
think it starts with that first drive. We got down there and we ended up missing
There
that
was-
field goal.
Shane,
but,
was there
you
any
have to
pride?
check me on that, but I'm pretty sure just
None.
rhythm wise we weren't getting into that.
Exactly. Robert Quinn,
17 plays, kind of a function of not
Roquan
executing.
Smith.
That's part of it. Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean it's not just
Gibson.
It's
I
not
saw
just you only have 17
Gibson.
plays, but I think the time of possession was they had double,
dog
and part of
game
that,
I
yes,
played
is to some of those plays. There's some.
I don't even know
there
what
was
he's
a 3 and out,
fucking
I think, in
saying.
there.
It's
And
so
we had
annoying.
He doesn't
the
either,
fumble
Phil.
was
He
one.
knows
Oh
he's
my
buying his
God.
time.
We went
He
down the field
needs
the
to
first drive.
get rid of
Yeah,
him
we stalled out
tomorrow.
on 2nd and 3rd and kicked the field goal and missed it. And then, we just before you know it, it's 2 minutes.
Imagine like your job is up against the wall, or you just lose a terrible game like that.
Something you guys like about that during the week, and where was
And this is how you do it.
Again, I'll have to.
This
I'll have
is
to look
fucking
at the tape, but no, I think,
Tressman.
right there again, we could look at that and say, well, you throw the ball, you stay a little bit more aggressive. But
Fire
we were at.
pace for hiring him alone. Alone.
Mhm.
You get moved as you're leaving.
I need a coach that actually fucking owns situations.
I just understand.
Blown
that
coverages.
We all care a lot.
Miscommunication.
And we're all,
Timeouts
in this
after
thing.
a fucking penalty.
Of
Every
course, we want to
mistake.
do everything we can to win. So that's our job to do that. And I think that
Every
everyone is
mistake.
competitive and wants to see the Bears win. And
Are you
that's
able to see
exactly
this
what we
game,
want.
Dad?
How do you
Oh, you
retain
see me on
the
that?
internally of your group?
Or are you just listening to
you
this?
keep fighting. You keep
you hear me?
believing in each other.
We
you
can
keep it
hear
real
you.
simple, and you never stop fighting.
I
That's
saw
all you
that-
can do.
I didn't have it on the channel. I saw the previews and the last couple of minutes of the game. I can't believe the coverage. I mean, letting that guy go by himself, that was a game. My God,
Right.
the hell?
Well, it's even worse than that when you pull back the curtain. Obviously, you didn't get to see it.
I didn't see the whole game. I didn't.
Okay. They didn't have it locally here either in the Connecticut, so we had to watch it on the Sunday Ticket. But yeah, blown coverages and the most critical thing. And I was saying to Shane, it's like you're going up against their backup quarterback who's never started a game in the NFL. And you are up 6 or 5. So a field goal doesn't beat you. Instead, the one time they needed to be like a little bit conservative, they didn't have the wherewithal, football acumen, situational coaching, philosophical communication, whatever. Brad Biggs writes out the fortitude, the intestinal fortitude to say, let's just keep 2 safeties over the top and force this fucking guy to be accurate, which he couldn't be. And we'll just tackle. We'll rally and win. And we'll get out of here. We'll save a little face. I know I'm going to get fired at the end of the season. But instead, the football gods continue to push Virginia McCaskey, Ted Phillips, and the collaboration crew's face in the dog shit in the yard and saying, you continue to mess with the city of Chicago. The field sucks. They're slipping all over the ground. You continue to mess with the city of Chicago and the culture of your grandfather and your dad. We're going to continue to help you be embarrassed and lose until you do the right thing. They just can't do the right thing. They can't get out of their way.
What are the whys?
That's the stuff. The whys. We're going to hide behind the why. The whys is him. The whys is him. And that's, I'm done. I'm so tired. It's like me and Shane have to keep saying the same thing, but it's worse. It's worse. Like I said, Dad, in my rant, there's 0.0 chance you lose this game, but you found a way to do it. That's on the head coach. That's on the head coach.
Well, people are going to realize that you've got 3 wins with a talented football team. And it's embarrassing. You got great defensive line. You have good linebackers. Secondary is a little shaky, but you should be winning games. Just playing smart football.
There is no smart.
No, there is no smart football here. That's for sure.
There's no smart football.
As bad as Monday Night Football was, right? We weren't smart. We got the taunting penalty. We put ourselves in these situations. That's a reflection of him, the head coach. He can't take ownership, like Olin said, come out and own and get a fine. He can't do that. He can't take ownership here. He doesn't know about Justin Fields' injury, even though he's lying. He continues to do everything in an arrogant, fuck you fans way. That, again, Jim Larison sent us audio. Me, Claudio, and my son Tate in our living room turned up the television, and you can hear the whole fucking stadium fire Nagy, and they're singing our song. The TTNL song, fire, Nagy, fire. They're singing it because they know. If the fans know, I don't give a fuck about a blog boy. He don't fucking know about Justin Fields. Justin Fields is not a bust. Justin Fields isn't the problem. We've said what the problem is. And it's honestly the head football coach. I know you don't have your headset on, Dad, so we keep picking up your TV.
Okay. I'll go in the other room. I'll take it
All right,
out.
so come back on when you get if he wants to come on. But Shane, I mean, I don't think I could say it any better. I know a lot of you fans are fired up, and you should be, but I think getting upset at Justin Fields is the stupidest avenue to travel down right now. That's not the area.
Totally agree. Yeah, if Justin Fields is your issue, I don't know really. I really don't know what to say to you. I really don't. You obviously have
an agenda.
Yeah, an agenda, an ulterior motive, something. Think about where this team would be without Justin Fields. And I'm not just talking about production and just you saw the way that everything came out this week when they were talking about how he makes a difference in players and in inspiring, getting the guys motivated. But I mean, that in and of itself right there speaks to the poor culture of this team. This kid's 21, 22 years old coming in, and it takes this kid to do that. And it's, when they come out and say that they're the envy of the league with the culture, that's all that is false praise because you're not winning on the field. So you think your fan base, which is probably true, is 90% meathead. You're just trying to sell them false praise and say, oh, our culture is great. Well, great. That's fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
Your culture's great. My dad's camera's not working. Do you see him on your end?
There he is.
Yeah. There you go. Now we can hear. Now we can hear. So some fans are blaming, obviously, Justin Fields. Did Justin Fields play a good game today? No, but I think it's indicative of a lot of the play calls and performance around him. The slant to Mooney's right in his chest. He's got to get that.
Well, even in the limited amount of time that we saw him, Phil,
yeah,
Tony Romo talked about it. He still had those wow plays. Does he need to play better? Absolutely.
Right.
You wanted to see him build off the success in the second half of last week. But the thing about it is the preparation process up to today, including the coaching staff and everybody else, it's more than Justin Fields. Yes, he has to play better. But this coaching staff, this entire regime is so lost. The Bears lose David Montgomery and they find, Khalil Herbert is a pretty good running back. You never see them together.
Right.
The Bears is one of the only teams in the NFL that no, it's going to be one guy or another. We're never going to use two guys at the same time. No way.
The only time they do is if he's in Wildcat.
Exactly. Yeah,
so
I'm
just putting that there. Some blog boy fights you on that point. Well, they do it when they did the Wildcat. Yeah. It's like, but you don't do it with Justin there. That's the point Shane's making. Does Justin have to get better? No doubt. But he went out.
Andy Dalton is up. I don't know if you want to listen to Andy.
Can hear.
9 years I was in Cincinnati, and then even last year when I was in
Dallas,
we played them. So
be
I
honest,
played against the Ravens a lot.
Andy, can you describe your emotions after the first touchdown at Darnell? It seems like, obviously very excited for a lot of reasons, but everything you've gone through this season, just what's going through your mind at that moment?
Yeah, I try to get in there, just be calm and go play, have some fun out there. That's the thing, when you can't take any opportunity, any time for granted. And so that was the thing, just go out there and just have some fun. And it was a sweet drive to go 2 plays and a touchdown.
How would you describe we haven't talked to you, obviously, within the last 9 weeks have been like for you?
Yeah, I've been through a lot. There's a lot that's gone on. From starting the year to the injury to
I don't get
to not playing. And
his facial, his presence right now, I'm not gonna lie.
And I knew that God had me here in Chicago for a reason. And it's football is part of it. There's more to it. It's being the good teammate, being a guy in the locker room that guys can lean on, and staying ready for the next opportunity. And that's, I feel like, what I've done. Like I said, leaning on my faith, knowing that the position I'm in is important.
I think Rock Davis might be the thing. Like, he's gotten word that Justin's out. So, this is my team now. Now I'm happy that, I'm going to build off that. I don't get the smile.
That's not my fault.
I don't know. I don't get it.
They're going to make a decision for what they want to do.
Could you talk about that last drive where everything seems like happened in hyper speed, but for you as a veteran, does it sort of slow down a bit, and maybe you even think 2 or 3 plays ahead to?
I just don't get the smiling, Shane. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's you're thinking about all the different scenarios.
Like, you just lost in a heartbreaking loss. Yes, you made a great throw to win.
Yeah, I think experience plays into all that. You're not just thinking about the play that's happening. And
I don't get it.
To end that drive the way we did.
You got to be able to read the room. They're fucking chanting fire Nagy out there. Fans, your 3 fucking wins.
Yeah,
in the back of some of their heads, I guarantee they're thinking about Club Dub.
Of anything.
And a disgusting thing.
From your prepare to start on Thursday.
I prepare the same way I've prepared this whole year, and so
still smiling at this.
I'm starting. I'll be ready to go.
He already knows he's starting.
I did, yes.
Have you heard anything about Justin Fields? Put his faith to test as a media. That's how you do your job.
Yeah, everybody gets a Thursday game. Everybody's got to have the quick turnaround. I think that's the big message for this team is you can't let this game affect
I like
Thursday.
Andy Dalton.
And so
I just don't get it.
We got to get ready
bothering
to go
me.
And
3
enjoy the game on
wins.
Thanksgiving.
3 wins. We're smiling.
Thank you.
Oh, I just think you come up there with a different approach. I don't care. You threw a touchdown pass.
Especially after the last play was out there. It looked like an ass.
You saw that. He took a sack, right?
Yeah. He ran into the sack.
So you're with me that I'm like dumbfounded by that, Shane. I'm glad you put it up, and I'm upset that you put it up at the same time because now it's going to bother me.
Yeah, to me, it really sounded like I think more so than anything, what I took away from it is Andy thinks he got a raw deal when they went to Justin. I mean, hey.
Well, you're good at this kind of shit, so
yeah, I just think that's why he was kind of smiling, like, oh, you know.
Well, how bad is he hurt?
We don't know.
They're saying ribs.
The coach don't know.
Ribs, yeah, and I mean, I don't.
Ask Sam. His player goes into the locker room for X-rays.
Yeah.
The trainer comes back. Does Sam Rutigliano not know? Hey, coach, he's got a broken rib. If it's not a broken rib, or he's got a pulled muscle, Sam knows that too. Like, coach, we're gonna have to do an MRI, but it's definitely not broken. He could come up. Listen, they told me it isn't not broken ribs, but they're gonna do an MRI. What the fuck is hard about this?
They know. They know
exactly.
Because when the news first came out, he was questionable to return.
Don't ever fucking hire a coach that has to be a fucking politician in front of everybody. Nobody wants this. Nobody. Lovey didn't get mad at the fucking crowd, get mad at the refs. People didn't like that. Fine. But at least he would give me a truthful answer. This right here, let's have Bruce Arians do a mock interview. And Bruce Arians is he's too truthful. We don't want that Ditka guy again. We don't want one of those. Well, that's the road you got to go down if you fucking want to win. Because you ain't winning with these little fucking soft ass puppy shit guys that can't handle it. This is a coach that looked like he had just lost a family member and is lying out of his mouth because he's the murderer. That's what he looked like there. I don't want this guy. I can't even look at this coach, if you want to even call him that. It's unbelievable. The charter franchise of the NFL being led by a dipshit. It's sad. You think they had a plan, and Andy's out there smiling because you're probably right.
Oh no, it is.
I got a fucking raw deal here, and I just went out there through the big game winning, and these motherfuckers can't coach. They don't do details. Sean Desai is picking his wedgie, deciding what the fuck he's gonna do. I'm looking at what are you doing? Robert Quinn is killing their left tackle, Villanueva. Killing him, right? Just rush 4. Sit back and make this guy throw 2 NFL passes. 2. It ain't going to happen. Oh. Fucking Wildcat empty on 4th and 1. Who goes into shotgun? You don't even know this, Dad. It's 3rd and 1 at midfield. They throw deep. And the ball, Mooney's got his guy beat by 3 yards, and the smiling fucking red assassin or BB gun throws it out of bounds, like over to the sideline. If he just threw it right to the numbers, walk-in touchdown. But he throws it where the kid has to do a Willie Mays adjustment, and he doesn't get his second foot down. So now it's 4th and 1. And the punt team goes on, and the whole stadium starts booing, right? And the fire Nagy chants are going. And then all of a sudden, you never saw this coach get angry in your life. But he certainly got angry on the fucking Blog Boy video guy. Watch that tape.
Yeah.
Get what the fuck? He's grabbing him. I can't hear. What are you talking? You don't need this. All you need to do is go like this. We're going to run 222 option right. Let's go. Get over here. Come here. That's it. Call timeout, whatever. You don't have. Then he doubles down. He says this in the presser. We saw him lie. He said, well, the special team coach was there. We spent on the thing. And the guy said, well, you didn't have the plan to go. You weren't going to go for it here twice. You had 2 downs. He's like, no, we didn't think of. So you just fucking lied then. You just lied. You know what made you change, Shane? The boos from the crowd made him change.
Right.
That's what happened. And then
Unbelievable.
to top it all off, guys, and I don't give a fuck who else is saying this because I know I'm saying it. You on 4th and 1 went wildcat empty. So all you had was David Montgomery in the shotgun. That's it. So it's me versus David versus everybody else. And Tony drew it up that the play's supposed to go. We don't know if the play's going outside. It's 4th and 1. Is the play going inside or outside? We don't know, but he did have it outside. But David cut back and got stuffed. So now poor David's getting the blame, right? Meanwhile, it's the get under fucking center and have them think, are you going to pass? Is it going to be an option route? Are we going to run dash? Are we going to run? Like, you had nothing but run. Nothing but run with a shitty run organization. Oh, I can't believe it, Shane. I can't.
Yeah, one of the most important downs of the entire game, and you pull your quarterback off the field.
Exactly.
It's great.
You can't make it up, even if you try to make it up. It just happened. And listen, if I'm saying that every goddamn week with this football team, you can't make it up. If you they top themselves on stupidity every week.
Every week.
Every week. You just watch the Bears for soap. Everybody's watching the Bears. You know, tomorrow, Keyshawn Johnson and Jay Williams will be talking about how dumb Matt Nagy is. The whole world is talking about how dumb Matt Nagy is. A woman in Italy making fucking pizzas doesn't know the fucking game of football, talking about the Matt Nagy is the stupid. They're all talking about it, except the fucking Bears. Are we fucking kidding me? Like, what do you want more from us? It's over with. I can't do it no more. I can't believe this team. It's deafening. I'm coaching women, 60-year-old, 58-year-old powder puff the other day. I'm getting them to fire the fuck out 4th and 3. They're running counter. They're firing out, getting first. I'm teaching as I'm going. This guy can't even call one play, Shane, without his headset. I don't know what the play call is. Well, good. They don't want you to know. It's like John Fox. They're like, come on. What are we fucking doing here? Oh, my God. I've never in my life. It's got to be comedy now. It's just.
You're going to do this over again, Phil. Leave the F words out and do that whole series over again.
I don't even know why. We'll just put it all over.
Oh,
maybe our Ron G will cut that part and put it out. I don't know, Shane. At this point, I'm just
at this
done.
point.
Just
At
done.
this point, you don't want it. You don't want anything seriously wrong with your quarterback, and you're biding your time until the higher ups make a decision.
It's got to be tomorrow. I mean, at one point,
I just don't think. I think the short week plays into it, Phil. Also, Phil. This team isn't a team that ever does it in season, and I agree with what you're saying, but just from a business standpoint of how this team operates, they never do it in season. Do I expect them in the chaos of an extremely short week playing on Thursday, coming off the game today, to have a coaching change? No,
okay.
I don't.
So strategically, then
They're not going to fire him.
TTNL, we have to do something then. So something to invade. It's either you give back your fucking tickets because you got 2 weeks, almost over 2 weeks now. Or it is 2 weeks, my bad. Because they play on Thursday away till the next home game. Sell your fucking. Who's we playing next at home, Cherie? Can you check who's the next home game? You got
Cardinals.
Detroit. Who is it?
Cardinals.
The Cardinal. December 5th, Steph, my wife's birthday. Everybody, throw your fucking tickets back. Seriously. Sell your tickets. $25. Throw them back. Give it to the fucking bum on the street. I don't care. If you decide, empty the fucking gate. Empty Soldier Field. That's exactly it, Ryan. Empty it. Don't go. Don't show up. Don't go. Don't be selfish you change it. Let them know in the best way, right in their fucking pocketbook. Don't buy a fucking nothing from them. And if you do go, because listen, Jim, John, Mary, Kim, whoever, you bought tickets for your family to go. I'm not stopping you from that. If you do go there, it's every chance the chant begins. Fire Nagy. It just continues like the song. Fire Nagy. Just keep chanting it. I don't give a fuck. If they're up 30, keep chanting it. It's got to have. You know how they have a hat trick in hockey, Shane? They throw hats on the fucking field, right? I'm not asking you to throw batteries or anything dangerous. Fire Nagy towels. Somebody make it. Fire Nagy towels. Throw them on the field. Something's got to be done. It's got to happen now. It's over. It's over. It's empty the stadium. Don't go. Everybody knows except what my dad and Shane are saying. They won't do it. They won't do it. They won't do it. They won't. You know what? This is right off the top of my head. They'll have a dumpster fire.
Well,
they'll have a terrible loss, but
this is what you're going to have to. This is what you're going to have to look at it, Phil, because you have to try to remove yourself from the emotion of the situation because we're Bears fans, so obviously we're invested. But just as a businessman, or if I'm going to look at this from a general manager's perspective or ownership, you go out and you lose on a nationally televised game to a team that hasn't won a game yet. In embarrassing fashion.
Connecticut kid playing quarterback for
that's going to send a big message if they go out and lay down to the Detroit Lions and get smacked in the face. And I mean, you can hear it in the locker room. I know a lot of the fans listening to BHL haven't. Robert Quinn sounded like he just saw his family get taken away from him. That's what he sounded. He wasn't smiling like the quarterback. Like Andy Dalton, that was for sure. But that stuff spreads. These guys aren't dumb. They know what the coaching is like. They know the warts with this franchise. They're in Hallis Hall each and every day. They know what ownership is like. They know what the front office is like. They're not going to fire Matt Nagy heading into the Detroit game. Not a chance in hell on a short week. If they go out there and lay an egg, the pitchforks are going to come out on Thanksgiving in Chicago. And maybe he does get fired, on the trip back.
Let me tell you something. If he loses to Detroit, he will be fired. He will be fired. And I'm pretty sure they're going to win, Detroit. I really would.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. That team is so destined to win a game.
There's no better chance than against Matt Nagy's Bears with this clown show. I want to say this in truth. Matt Nagy, there's been a lot of revisionist history by a lot of these blog boys and media people, but never here. That's a fact. You can call that arrogant all you want. You damn sure it is, because I know football. I know the culture. I know coaching, and I know situational and how fundamentals and decisions go hand in hand. You could just see when someone doesn't know. Matt Nagy's 0-4 now, coming out of a bye. 0-4. This is the third straight year he's lost 4 games or more in a row. You want to continue to teach about culture? about locker rooms, about club dub, about bullshit. People ran Mitch Trubisky out of town, and I said, listen, there's talent there. Just got to have a good teacher. There it is. He's gone. Blame Mitch. Blame the kicker. Blame the kicker. We got a kicker. No, that wasn't it either. Oh, Nagy 2.0. But nope. Kept sending the same bullshit out there. Like Shane said at the top, Deion Bush is back. How I don't give a shit about the pass interference. How you drop that interception.
He does it all the time, Phil. Deion, but that's what he's been known for.
How you drop that, though, sets you up in your mental state to blow the coverage because you're scared you know what out there. And this is what you continue to have. 17. What did he get? Like a toss play? And he runs it for like 13.
Right.
Well, 17, not involved in the passing game. Number 10 is. Number 10 what does he have? 2 catches on the season? 2 and you're out Allen Robinson? Come on. This guy. There's a lot of guys that had a bad game today. I'm looking at consistent bad. Consistent. Jason Peters, false start, Pat. That ain't helping.
No.
All of this shit. But the blown coverage, as bad as Deion, Sean Desai, not the guy. Just not the guy.
You know how I remember we had a rule. This is just high school, you know. But anytime we ran into trips, we're never going to play man-to-man. You get out of it and play zone.
Right.
And now they came out with 4, right? Is that what I'm understanding? That's That's really the time to call zone. Back it up. Get your linebackers out there. Just play the zones. The flat, the curl, the deep third.
The only way you get beat
the
is
middle.
The only way you lose if you get beat over the top.
Right.
They found a way to lose, get beat. With everything else that was bad, I mean, we could go through any game, and pick out great performers, bad. Like 2 guys, you know, we said Vildor did not play a good game today. He didn't.
I think he played his worst game as a pro.
That fucking interference call. But what did I see Vildor smiling on the sideline? No, I saw him with his head buried down.
Yeah.
Completely probably owning that fucking
He's not making 10 million though, like Andy is either.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, sucks. I've been there. I've made a bad play. Could have cost my team the game. Someone else step up. We're not arguing whether, the interception wouldn't matter. We're telling you philosophically, Deion Bush never makes the goddamn play. Who happens to blow the coverage at the end? We'll see. But to your point, Dad, I'm in total agreement. It shouldn't even get to that point. You want to go 0 blitz, go and attack and do that? Well, now's not the time against a guy that's not an accurate passer. It's just not. The only way you do that is you cover 2 man over the top and maybe run a nickel corner. Make
him beat you. Make him make the plays to beat you.
Make him beat you with his accurate arm. He wasn't going to do it. But that's the point I'm trying to make. You're blessed with stupidity that sucks because we lost in epic fashion. But it's just a showcase that you'll never, ever reach any kind of playoff or anywhere expectation under this regime. It's it.
And you got a great quarterback, and now all of a sudden he's not a great quarterback. People are saying he's not a great quarterback. It's terrible. Terrible. Yeah. That kid reminds me of the old situation. The guy gets broken ribs, and maybe this will affect him. But it's sad because I always think of Plunkett. Mm-hmm. You know, he was beat up playing for the Patriots, beat up. And finally, they let him go. San Francisco picks him up, but they realize he can't play anymore. They drop him. The Raiders pick him up, and they win 2 Super Bowls with this guy. He's a great quarterback. He was a great quarterback. And this kid's a great quarterback. And you got to teach him how to be a controlled quarterback. You got to teach him to be a pocket passer and help him with the receivers, discipline routes. Work on the stuff that you need to do, and not bombs. You don't have to throw bombs. You got a great running game, action pass, throw into the seams.
They didn't even go to the seams. We didn't see a tight end until tight end throw.
Yeah, and Baltimore is 30th in the league covering tight ends, and the Bears took their tight ends out of the game plan
equation.
Yeah,
themselves.
That's coaching.
No. I really think, Phil, it's as simple as, and this sounds ridiculous, but I honestly think the Bears, part of their process is they're expecting us to go to the tight ends. So we're going to take them out of the game plan and we're going to attack other areas because that's what they're going to be expecting. You got to go down and shoot.
I want to interject something because I'm talking about the kid. And I want your viewers to understand one thing. I'm talking about Belichick right now. If Belichick had your quarterback, he'd be probably an MVP of the league. I'm telling you right now, he would get this kid to play disciplined football, help him with the receivers, and he would be fantastic. And then the option of running, my God, unbelievable. You got the wrong coach, and the whole country should say that. They know it. It's just that you got people in that own the club and not going to make that decision because it's their principle. Their principle. Until they see that people don't want to see the Bears anymore. And then they'll say, whoa, we got to do something.
Yeah,
You're right, Phil. You're right about not going to the games. Protest. Have signs. Embarrass them. Put the signs out there. Embarrass them. Embarrass the ownership. Embarrass them till they get this guy the hell out of there.
He's the problem. And you're 100% right. And I see people saying, but at the same time, you can't take away from talent. The only thing, your coach doesn't do what Shane said. He's thinking he's smart instead of saying, now here's the whole thing in a nutshell. And everything you said is 100% right, Dad, because with Belichick, fundamentals matter. With Belichick, there's a plan. With Belichick, they do the opposite of what Shane said. They do, hey, this is what we do well. Let them fucking stop us. Our game plan is to get the tight ends involved. Our game plan is to run the inside-outside zone. Our game plan is to boot and get him going. Not what do they do? We're going to trick them. No. Part of this is overthinking. Part of this is unpreparedness, leadership, all the way down. It just, as you said, shit always travels downhill. And that's where we are. You can't do anything really well when you have somebody that has no idea what they're doing. And once in a life, what is that term? The clock always will be right twice a day. Well, that's what you see sometimes with the Bears. They give you a reason to be excited, but the full-on reality is Matt Nagy isn't Bill Belichick. Matt Nagy isn't any equivalent of being a head coach. And that showed itself today once again. It showed itself in that third down. Listen, he said it. It showed itself when he just said that, no, well, I don't know. We didn't have a 2-down play. Like, if you're going for that, 3rd and 1, and you're throwing deep and you're not in your head, well, this is 2-down territory as a head coach, bring it back. Listen to it again. It's like the biggest indictment on a coach I've ever heard. It's like, no, Tabor was next to me and the punt team went on. And then I thought I was calling a play. You're lying. You're lying. Gotta fire this guy. Gotta protest. Gotta do it again and again and again. I don't know where else to go with this stuff. It's just always a disappointment at the end of the day. It really isn't. The other thing is, here's my son. He's 7 years old. He loves the Bears. My fault. And he loves David Montgomery. And that big play happens. And he's jumping up and down with Claudio. And we're all excited for a good win. And there's just no way. My son goes, they did it. They win. And I go, wait.
Oh, no.
I gotta teach you something. It's not over yet. I said that to him. And to see
should have played this for him.
Shane, when I say I felt so bad that Tate's on the ground crying when they go easily into, if you think they're running, not running at that point, and the defense still isn't prepared. Still isn't prepared. It's a little kid on the ground crying, and I gotta go do my show, Tate. Claudio, to his credit, Uncle Claudio had to step up and help Tate understand what just happened. But the reality is that's what adults like Cameron Beige and Willie Glow and all these other people probably felt as well. There's just no way you could lose. But with Matt Nagy, you would find a way. And until people stop making up excuses and until administration does do the right thing and say, you think I'm bringing my son to see them play the Vikings on a Monday night? Wouldn't put him through that. I told him the other day with Greg Braggs here, I go, I'm not bringing you to Chicago this year to watch this coach. That was my exact word. It ain't the team. There's, like you said, Dad, there's plenty of fucking talent on this team.
There's talent on that team.
Oh my God. I honestly think, I've said it many times before, haters are going to hate, but I know I could go out there, same team, coach them 2 weeks, give me. They would fucking destroy some people. Destroy with a different fucking philosophy and game plan. That quarterback, Justin Fields, ain't the problem. I'll tell you that. And I like Andy Dalton. I do. As a backup. Justin Fields, your future. But to lose today without Lamar Jackson and all this stuff is just an indictment on this head coach, this franchise, and everything about it. It's what we do here. We try each and every week, like Free Justin. It's give you therapy. Rants, jokes. At this point, though, I just felt like I got to go back to the first half. I don't know how like just flatlined I felt. Because you didn't get to see you're muted, Shane. You didn't get to see the first half, Dad. It just felt like a team going through the motions, right, Shane? What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying, Phil, you and I spent 10 minutes before half trying to figure out the Facebook broadcast issues. It was like we weren't even invested in the game. Of course, I had it on and I'm watching, but
yeah, that's
under normal circumstances, I'm like, yeah, okay, bro, I'm not too worried about fucking Facebook right now. But we were trying to figure it out because, this team beats you down so much. At some point, you're just like, all right, let's just get to the end of the road this season, and you hope and pray that they'll make the right decision. And I have no faith, in ownership. I think they have to do it, obviously.
Yeah.
Would I be shocked if they didn't? No, this franchise, nothing surprises me anymore.
No, I think they'll get rid of him at the end of the year.
Oh, I sure hope so.
But I don't think they'll get rid of him.
No, I will say this right now. There's zero chance this guy is here next year. I know that.
Honestly,
you're
right, Phil.
I'll say this. I will not fucking do the show anymore. I'll say that for the record. If this fucking guy's still coaching the Bears next year. there you go. You have my on the record. As far as question for Coach O, who would you hire? I don't think my dad knows all these coaches that are out there.
No, I don't.
So as far as this, though, Shane, I wouldn't put it past this guy, Amazon Prime, Amazon owner,
Bezos
has more
yeah,
money.
there was a rumor that he was in Chicago and at Hallis Hall this week. I mean, listen, the Bears aren't winning. At the end of the day, the Bears are I look at them like the Texas Longhorns. They're a
Right.
sleeping giant if they're run the right way, if they find the right head coach. You know, the Texas Longhorns could be bigger than Alabama in terms of college football. They really could be. They're just not run well. The Bears is much the same. Jeff Bezos is going to look at the Bears as the Chicago Bears. It's a worldwide brand, and they're still a big brand, but they're losing every week. And it's you, but you see how this is. The rumor true? I don't know. Is there going to be interest from Bezos if the Bears are available? Absolutely. That's what these guys do. They invest it. Can you imagine the stadium that this dude would build?
Oh my God.
In
Bezos owns Amazon, Dad. So
Yeah.
he's probably the richest man on earth now. Is that or second? But if he's coming in, he could pay over costs for the Bears. And with a woman that's at the end of her time, let's just be honest. I don't know how to put it any other way. You know, to take care of her family, I'm just keeping it 100. As you can see, I think that's more important than the Bears to her. So she would take the money and her family will be set for the rest of their existence and generations past. And you will go on with a new owner. And I think that would be the best thing. And I've said, even with me and Olin on keeping it 100 last week, when we don't agree on Mustafa, I said I still would hire Olin as the president of football operations, who would oversee and interview every possible candidate for the GM and coaching job, because Olin Kreutz has that specialty of actually knowing, playing, and being a part of the Chicago Bears and being what Ditka was, a thorn in their side. That's a good thing. Because if you hire people that are, yes, ma'am, you're just going to continue going down the road with that fucker. It's like the guy, your buddy, he's supposed to be your friend. You got a big giant booger in your nose and you're going out for the first time with this new girl and you really love her. The Bears have a bunch of, you're fine. Go out with her. I don't want to cause him any, I'm not going to tell him about that nose booger. You need a couple guys that are going to tell you about the boogers. And I'm not talking about McFarland. That's what real friends do.
This guy will tell you about a booger.
Prove it over and over. I suck at it. So could you guys please help me figure out who in the F can help coach this team? I will spend the money. Let's try and fix things.
There's my boy, David Kaplan. I love David Kaplan, who also, happy birthday to his wife, but also is a man. I love Bearlissimo. I see him in there. He's telling you, hit the fucking like button, smash it. There's one thing you guys could do. You can hit the like button, smash it, share the fucking show. I can tell you right now, a lot of people want to come on the show. A lot of people want to rant. That ain't going to be today. We got short weeks. We got show, video. I don't even know how we're going to get this done with Thanksgiving on the cusp.
We got short weeks and temperamental wives. So that's not a great recipe for success if you want to be on the show.
Exactly. Also, Shane, what night are we doing keeping it 100 this week? Is
That's
it gonna be,
I know. I was literally thinking about that
totally
about 10
got
minutes ago.
me too. I was like,
Yeah.
wait a second here. Are me and Bear Lisa? We don't know when we get the tape. Then when are we gonna do the show? Are we doing it Wednesday night? I got my daughter has her Powder Puff game rivalry. She and Lyman all. So I'm gonna be all over the place there. It might have to be Tuesday night that we do keeping it 100. And then obviously BHL, or we just keeping it 100 on another day or skip it this week. We'll figure it out.
That was going to be my suggestion, is make the essentially that'll take a back seat this week and do BHL / keep it at 100
on Thanksgiving
Thursday, because it's like it is, and I think everybody that's listening, we have young kids and extended families, and it's it's hard to make everything work, especially on a Wednesday night and then turning right around on a Thursday with food preparation and the way that everything is going on Thanksgiving. It's quite a lot.
Yeah, I think.
But we'll come up with you and I'll talk
something now. Maybe we pop on and do a condensed something, but I think
What do you think, Sheree? Good talk. All right.
She was about to say something. She was. She wasn't prepared. I mean,
there she is. Go ahead, Sheree.
I was muted. I was thinking about that earlier too. I was gonna ask Phil, were we gonna do a show this week with how everything was running?
With the level of disheartened energy, we're gonna have to deal with this shit again versus Detroit. As Barlissimo's right on cue.
Actually, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna overrule everything here in film. This is what you and I will do.
Yeah,
we are going to do a special. Maybe it'll be an hour or under.
Yes.
Tuesday night, Phil and I will go live for our TTNL patrons.
There
and
you
we'll
go.
do a Q&A.
Q&A.
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
So if you want to become a TTNL patron, head over to www.thetapeneverlies.com. Sign up, and you'll have access to that show that Phil and I will do live in a pop-up fashion on Tuesday night. And Sheree, maybe you'll be there too. Who knows?
There you go. Right there. Look at Caden Whitlow dropping the banner down. He did a great job there. Love that kid. Listen, I enjoyed last week's show with Olin Kreutz and the kid from high school. What was his name? Jared? Jake from State Farm. Not from State Farm. Jake's mom even reached out to me on Instagram. She was like, "Oh my God."
I pointed her in the right direction to find you. And she's Jake's mom is a TTNL patron now.
Is she?
Oh, wow.
She is.
Look at that. She reached out. Like, my son was so happy, so excited. You made his life to have him on the show. And he was great. So, yeah, I love that idea. That's what we'll do. Obviously, BHL will be live. Chris Zorich is going to be with us, Dad. So you're going to be right here sitting next to me. I have a nice chair for you. I'll probably get rid of this big chair, and me and you both could sit in a chair, and then we'll break down Thanksgiving football. The Bears, if they lose that one, I'll let you do the rant. How about that? I'll let my father do the rant that day. And Chris Zorich, the former Chicago Bear, is going to jump on with us and talk about Thanksgiving football and the game, and we'll be live there. I just feel bad for you fans too. You know, I get very passionate, and I also take a lot of pride in it because I'm speaking for thousands of you that want to hear the rant, that want to be a part. But my whole focus, as I said to Jake when he asked me, is like I'm talking to the locker room. If I was the head coach of the Bears, this is what my rant would be. Even if it was me coaching, I'd be ranting about my fucking self letting them down. The reality is they're not coached well. We've seen this time and time again. I'm so excited about the reality of change that watching somebody, someone said it, I don't know if it was you, Shane, or one of the fans, or Berlicio, or my dad. He's just talking now. He's just saying.
Yeah. You know your fate. I mean, come on. I think he knows where this is headed. You got the quarterback that you obviously handpicked, and it only took you a matter of weeks to shit down your own leg and how you handled the situation.
Very good. Very good. I tell you.
If I was tall and Heidi, I would sell my tickets back. Get your money back. Don't support this organization. Listen, you got the Sunday ticket. Watch every game. I'll never not watch the game. But today was the first time. Shane is 100% right. I'm just worried about why is our Facebook not connected to our live stream during a game? Like, that would never happen to me. Like, I can't sit down. I'm so like a fucking lunatic, crazy coaching this team that no one can hear me. Because unlike, Matt Nagy, I do have a headset that works here, but at home, I can't get my plays in. I'll tell you what, my 4th and 1 play wouldn't be David Montgomery and fucking Wildcat empty. Oh, God. It's like there's so many things within a football game. As a player, I felt like, oh, my God, if I only would have did this, if I only fucking made this, if I only made this tackle. So many. As a coach, there's so many times, man, I should have fucking called counter there. I don't know why I fucking thought I should have did it, didn't do it, but I stood in front of the fucking team or the media, whoever, and I said, that's on me. And I was pissed. I showed emotion. I was never felt like I was a dead man walking because I know I gave everything. You walk off coaching fucking powder puff football flag. I felt exhausted at halftime.
Yeah, real quick.
26. Anyway.
Real quick, Will, the halftime show, we were having an issue with our Facebook live stream, so that's why I'm assuming you were having a problem finding it on Facebook. If you go to your Patreon app or to TTNL Patreon, it is posted there for you to watch. And speaking of TTNL patrons, this guy's a patron.
Yo, this is Mike Huff, TTNL Network, coming straight out of the region. Fire Matt Nagy. Fire him now. Hashtag sell the team. There it out.
Tell him, Mike.
Mike, fucking fire Matt Nagy. Fire him now. He is a patron.
Yes, he is.
I'm sure he's in the
long time.
Yeah.
Imagine if the tech guy fired out on Nagy when he grabbed him like that. I would have fucking paid for his dinner. Speaking of paying for dinners, thank you, Shane, for paying for my dinner.
It almost didn't go down, man.
I know.
It almost did not go down. I must have called that place 80 times, and I am dead serious.
It was so busy there because Harvard Yale was playing. So right when we got in,
if there's pizza involved, Claude's got to be there. So I texted Claude. I'm like, are you at Modern with these guys? And then that's when you guys sent me the picture back.
Yeah.
So I said to Claude, I'm like, bro, I'm trying to pull this off. You're gonna have to help me out. So he went, and I don't know how he presented it to you guys when he got up from the table, but I gave him all the info.
What happened was we took Greg Braggs, and I'm sure we're going to hear from Greg later in this week. We'll get him on Thanksgiving to talk about modern pizza from the region. So I took him to New Haven Pizza, and he was blown away. He's like, you know what? You guys this is probably one of the top ever. So I'll let him do his spiel, but Shane surprised us all, Dad, and paid for all of our dinner there. So wow. Claudio, here's the story, Shane. Claudio gets up. I was in the bathroom. I had to go, and I come back.
That means the bill is coming.
No, we were still eating. So I come back. We're sitting down. I go, I got to have one more slice. I was like, oh my God. So I had another, I must have had 11 slices. I was like, this is unbelievable. And Greg's like, yeah. So Claudio got up. I'm thinking he's going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So we're talking, and then Claudio came back and he's smiling, and Greg turns to him. He's like, don't tell me you fucking paid for the meal. And I was like, because I was, no joke, I was like, can you get our bill to the lady? Because I was going to pay for everyone. And Claudio goes, no, I didn't. Shane paid for the bill. And Steph goes, no, he didn't. And sure enough, that's what went down.
How'd you pay the bill? Called him up and put you.
Yeah, he
tried. I tried to call the restaurant directly, but it was busy. I mean, I literally tried calling 80 times. And finally, I got a hold of Claude, and I had to send him my info, and he got a good
paid with
waitress.
Shane's card.
Yeah, I gave him my info, and they were able to
trust Claudio with that,
pull it off. Well, that's why his motherfucker's not here. He's probably driving a caddy someplace now.
Claudio cuts one haircut.
Yeah.
Takes someone's credit,
first-class trip,
charges another one.
Actually, the funniest part of the whole thing was after I paid for it, I said, Claude, just give me a heads up on how much it was, because I always like to keep track of my stuff. So he sent me a picture of the receipt. And he's like, hold up, fucking brags, this motherfucker just ordered a pizza to go.
He did.
He goes, hold up.
True story. He ordered a whole large after he must have ate 15 slices. He takes I think it was a large he ordered and took it to go.
Yeah.
First class Fernicola, Money Man Martin. Thank you though, Shane. I was
no,
expecting to talk about this on.
Yeah, can't wait to come back. I want to get back down there, man. It's literally everybody's heard me talk about it. I was skeptical that it would be the best that I've had, and I am readily admitting that it is the best pizza in the world.
There you go.
And I've been all over the world eating pizza.
Yes, you have.
And it's the best pizza in the world.
So once we got to get Cherie out here to taste this. And
I know that's funny that you said that.
Yeah.
I was in Sicily.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we stopped in this town and we ordered pizza. The pizza came out. It was pretty good. And the guy says to me in English, he says, we have the best pizza in the world. And I said, you know, you don't. You live in Connecticut has the best pizza in the
world. My dad's talking shit to Sicilians over there.
That's awesome.
But here we go. Let's just wrap this up. Obviously, we're going to be back, as Shane said, Tuesday night. Become a patron right there below. Sure, we'll get the tape. We're going to have a lot of tape to break down because we're going to have 2 games of tape. And we'll get to that, I promise you. But also, I wanted to thank everybody, all the fans that come and make this the point of emphasis to where they want to go after a win or a loss. I really want to thank you guys for that. Obviously, we'll talk more about thanking on Thursday. Just final thoughts, Shane, for you as we wrap up this day.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to make it about one guy. Most of my thoughts right now are with QB1, hoping that that's not something serious. I mean, it'll make the game more fun to watch, obviously, if Justin Fields is able to lead the Bears in Detroit. So I hope he's ready to go. He's a really, really tough guy, really, really tough kid.
Yeah.
But at this point, with the Bears being out of playoff contention, they're 100% now going to err on the side of caution. If there's any question, especially on a short week, I would expect them to sit him down to make sure that he's 100% ready to go, much like Tevin Jenkins and that whole situation. But nah, man, it's been a long time coming, Phil, with this franchise. I think today, I think you can see it on Nagy's face. I really do in the pressers. I mean, he's beaten, he's downtrodden, and it's all self-inflicted gun wounds, from himself. So it's only a matter of time. But I'm just thankful that we have Justin Fields moving forward, because if you have that position correct, and I wholeheartedly believe that we do, it makes everything a lot easier moving forward.
Dad, I know you didn't see the whole game. Well said, Shane. Honestly, very well said. Do you want to have a final thought here, especially with the young quarterback and how the game ended?
You talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Are you talking to me? Yeah, yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you have a final thought on how
Yeah,
it ended?
I just sad thing coverage wise. I mean, you'd have won that game if you had a plan on defense. That's exactly right. I mean, you got to talk about all the things that you got to do. There's poor coaching going on, and I don't know how much the defensive guys got to say, and what they're doing and at the close of the game like that, because the head coach is, who knows him? Who knows him? He's a liar. He's a con man. So we don't know what's going on. And you know something? The guys that coach for him are never going to say anything because they'll never get another job. So they got to keep quiet. That's the bottom line. So that's the truth when it comes to coaching. You're talking about loyalty. That's what you got to do. You got to shut your mouth. And but unfortunately, this is what happens. And they got it. The Bears administration, the owners, they got to get rid of this guy. He's a terrible coach. I'm telling you right now. And you know what? He's a terrible man because he's a liar. And I'm telling you right now, you're a phony. You got to live up to things. You got to have big shoulders to be a boss in this league. You got a big heart, big shoulders, and big mind. You can't go in there and do this kind of crap, nickel and diamond stuff, thinking you're the head man. You're not the head man. You're terrible.
Well said. Well said. Cherie, I don't know if you have a final thought.
Mine
I
is
will. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Nagy got to go. It's been time.
There you go. Simple as that. I want to thank Heidi Trone. I'll shout you out with the group riding back on the train out to Arlington. I think that's Arlington Heights or Arlington out there in Texas. I hope it's maybe it is.
No.
No.
It's got to be Arlington in Illinois somewhere.
There you go. So yeah, it is. I'll say this. Shout out to all of you, 100 crew, all of the Keeping It 100, Hundo crew, everybody that loves this network, every Bears fan that wears their Bears gear with pride, win or lose the next day. Every Bears fan that hangs up their Bears gear and in disappointment that can't wear it. It's okay. I get it at this point. I understand everyone's dilemma here. And I'll finish this show like this. At some point, you have to put the team first. The Chicago Bears organization has never done that. And I'll be honest with you. You will take little slabs at putting money into Julius Peppers, putting money into draft picks and trades and Khalil Mack trades, putting money in those things. But you never put the team first. The team is the coach. This is what I've known my whole existence in life. It's the coach who decides, young Phil, young Tate, young Riley, young Cherie, you're in the game. It's the coach who decides on 3rd and 1, we're going to throw deep. It's the coach who decides we're going to kick here or we're going to go for it here. We're going to go run the ball or throw the ball. It's not Justin Fields. It's not Kendall Vildor. It's not Virginia McCaskey. It's the coach. So Virginia, Ted, George, until you decide that you're going to find someone that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, because the truth that you might have to swallow is that you haven't done a good job for the Chicago Bears fans or the team. You might have thought you did. You thought you were paying Ernie Accorsi for some truth, but really what you were getting was the booger in your nose guy, the guy that lets you go out there and fail until you decide, I'm going to hire that guy Marsaw. I'm going to hire that guy Atosha. I'm going to hire Olin Krut. They make me uncomfortable. His fuck and shit and bullshit and fuck this and yada, yada, yada down the line doesn't work in church. But guess what? We're not in church. We're trying to fix a football franchise. Last time I checked, Vince Lombardi gave a shit. And the only thing he cared about was winning. Your father, grandfather, that's all he cared about too. So until you, Chicago Bears organization, decide that you are going to put this team in winning first, you've lost me. You've lost me. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other people that feel the same way. So for Shane Marsaw, and that means, real quick, that you got to fire this guy, and you got to do it now and send the message of good cheer for Christmas by saying we're making a change and we're going to start early in investigating what we need to do to be better. We're not going to wait with every other goddamn team that's going to do this, from David Kaplan all the way down to everybody I know that understands that this needs to happen now rather than later. I say God bless you. For Shane Marsaw, for my dad, Coach at Toshin Sr., and for Sheree.
Real quick, Phil.
Yes.
Barlissimo wants to close out the show today, so I told him he could, and he's got a couple of things while we close out here.